Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 449th meeting of Central Delhi Toastmasters Club. Basant Panchami. The theme today actually reminded me of my elementary school where we used to dress up in yellow. We were required to bring something yellow in our lunch, and we used to have a little prayer for Goddess Saraswati. And I think we all would agree that we would have some memory of this festival with all of us. So it's so with today's theme, we all will dive into all those memories of our schools with this festival. So now let's move forward with the meeting, and let me tell you that together our club's mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience to our members and to empower them and develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. On that note, let me call upon the presiding officer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Ritvik Dash. He is doing his bachelor's from Delhi University and is currently serving as VP Education in our club. He is extremely helpful and hardworking, someone who is always ready to work for the club. Toastmaster Ritvik.
Thank you so much, the arms for that benevolent words that you have bestowed upon me. I am completely flattered. Well, on that note, let me request all the Toastmasters and the guests to follow a 30-second silence for world peace. Well, thanks for the cooperation, Toastmasters and guests. We really feel world peace is a very important concern, and through this platform, we have actually propagated it. With all that being said, it was 11th March 2020, 5:37 p.m., the last day of my school life. I was obviously very emotional, taking some snaps at the gate, and didn't know what to do, because that was an institution I have been there for the last 16 years. And then a man comes up, tells me, Ritvik, can I have a photo with you? That's the last day, right? And guess what? He was a principal of our institution. I said, yes, sir, absolutely. He said, but no, I will take you to a place of my preference and then I'll take a photo there. Sure, sir, please go, let's go forward. He took me to the amusement park and took a photo there. I thought, what was so special about the amusement park that he took a photo there, taking from the gate to 500 meters away? I asked the same question to him. He told me, Ritvik, look below. I said, yes, sir. What do you see? Sir, I see a matted artificial grass in the amusement park. Do you remember something? We had tiles on this particular platform. It was you, while keeping up the tenure of the captain of the institution, that you had recommended the Security Council of our institution to put a matted grass on in the amusement park for the safety of the children. Yes, sir. I recall those memories. That's what a leader does. Today, when you'll come back to the institution after so many years, you will see this matted grass again, and you really feel proud of your tenure as a leader. And so it was. So what was the moral of the story? While being on the seat of power, we will do not understand how much work we have done. It's only when we step down that we realize the essence of a leadership, because that springs into life the leadership quality in us. And personally speaking, from personal experience, communication skills have always helped me in this path to strive for being a great leader. It has helped me relieve, rejuvenate, revive myself at different situations. And let me remind you, I was Googling one day, what can be the best platform for help me in improving my communication skills in July last year. I found Toastmasters. I went through some YouTube videos, saw some videos, and international speech contest was a term that I saw. I said, what was this? I was pretty confused. It was here while I am the DPR of this club, I got to know about the importance of it. I highly recommend all the Toastmasters, ones who are eligible for it after they have completed L2, to please to participate in this contest. With all that being said, let me welcome all the dignitaries of our club. First of all, TTM Deepak Menon. Please give a huge round of applause for him. Next, TTM Savari Girish K, who is the new reinstated member of our club. Big round of applause to you also, sir. Now, let's move forward to introduce the new members of our clubs. It's again DTS Savari Girish K, Mohit Yadav, and Amandeep Kaur, who have taken on this journey to embark to make themselves the new leaders of tomorrow. Congratulations to you on taking that step. Let me now invite the guests of today's meeting. I request everyone, the guests especially, to raise your hands and please come up to introduce yourself in this format: name, profession, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters. For example, my name is Ritvik Dash. I am an undergraduate of BA Economics Honors in Delhi University, and I came to know about Toastmasters from YouTube in this format. So I would first request guest Gautam, you please come up on the stage.
Hey, thank you, Toastmaster. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you. So my name is Gautam Kumar Deka. I am working as a software engineer in Amazon, and I came to know about Toastmaster through the meetup group, basically the daily Toastmaster to be specific. And prior to that, actually, I was have a little bit of idea about Toastmaster in my previous organization. I had attended 1 or 2 meetings there, but unfortunately, due to this pandemic, it had to shut down. The format had to shut down, and then I thought of getting back to the Toastmaster club once again and search for the different clubs nearby, and got to know about this online meeting. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really believe you would have a great journey right now, and I look forward to join Toastmasters right now.
Thank you.
Okay, with all that being said, let me now go forward to the next guest Ravi Mishra. Please come on the stage.
Yes, sir. I am Ravi Mishra. I am graduated from Delhi University Hindu College, Chemistry Honors. Now I am preparing for government examination, government teacher. I am listening about the Toastmaster meeting, and I'm joining this program.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Now let's go forward to the next guest Apurva. The stage is yours.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Apurva Singh, and currently I'm doing my master's in tourism and hospitality from Ambedkar University. And I came to know about this Toastmaster from my brother. He told me about this classes, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Let's give a huge round of applause for her. Let's now bring up Toastmaster Ayan on the stage.
Hello, Toastmasters. My name is Ayan, and I'm currently preparing for competitive exams. And I came to know about Toastmasters from the web.
Thank you so much for the introduction. But I must say we have a lot of competitive exam aspirants here. With all that being said, let me also go forward to guest Bhavya right now. Please come on the stage.
Hello everyone, I am Bhavya Rampal. I am currently pursuing computer science engineering from Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University for Women. I came to know about Toastmaster from my brother who is currently doing MBA. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's now go forward to the next guest. We have guest Rocky.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rocky, and I'm pursuing my graduation and from economics. My major is economics. I'm pursuing from Delhi University, and I came to know about this Toastmaster from one of my friend, and he did earlier. He joined some different club. I don't know which name about that, and right now I'm actually looking for it, whether it will suit or me or not, this club. Thank you.
So I guess we are done with the guest introductions, but I guess if someone is left, you can please come up on the stage and introduce yourself.
Hello
Okay,
everyone.
Yeah.
My name is Bhavya Malhotra and I am born and brought up in Delhi. I've done my aircraft maintenance engineering from Delhi Flying Club and I found my passion in psychology. So I opted to change my career path and I'm currently doing psychology honors from IGNU. And I'm really looking forward to enhancing my soft skills. So I got to know from the web search about Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So are there any more guests left? Anyone who's
Hey everyone.
Yes, please come forward.
Yeah, hi Toastmasters. My name is Weber, and this is my first time over here. So I'm a computer science graduate, and I'm currently working as a software engineer. And I heard about Toastmasters a long time back from my cousin. He actually lives in the Netherlands, but back when he used to live in India, he used to attend a lot of meetings, and he was also telling me that how Toastmasters has been so prominent in making him a better speaker. And he always encouraged me to try it out. And in fact, a few years back, I attended a meeting as a guest, but after that, I didn't really continue. So I'm over here, and I think it's a great platform to just get better at speaking and improving your social skills. So yeah, excited to be here.
Absolutely, it's one of the best places I have personally experienced that. With all that being said, let me also request all the Toastmasters and the guests to please keep your cameras on, because that is also a great part of communication, two-way communication, recipient and the listener. Okay, with all that being said, let me also tell you that we have a special segment for you, the table topic segment, where you can actually go forward for improving your impromptu skills. So guests, please look forward on that particular segment. Now, with all that being said, let me welcome on stage the host of today's evening, the Toastmasters of today's evening. Toastmaster of the day, TM Rashmi Sikri, with her segment, Let's Celebrate the Spirit of Vasant Panchami. Let's celebrate the spirit of Vasant Panchami. Toastmaster of the day, Rashmi Sikri. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, PM Ritvik Dash, and a very good evening to all the Toastmasters. How's the spirit? Give me a shout out.
Hi.
Unmute.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
How's the spirit?
Hi.
Very high.
Very
Thank you very much. Thank you. And you can now mute your mic. Yes, dear friends, the spirit has to be high. After all, on 5th of February, we had just celebrated Vasant Panchami. And would you think, what is so special in Vasant Panchami? Well, it's the festival that infuses amongst ourselves energy, cheerfulness, and optimism, isn't it? And it marks the beginning of so many things. Can you raise your virtual hand and share with me some of the things that it marks? Yes, please. Raise your hand. I said it marks the beginning of so many things. Can you share some of them with me? In just very short, one sentence or one word. I'm not able to see. Has anybody raised the hand?
Spring season.
Yeah, it marks the onset of spring season. Good, thank you. And guest Rocky is raising the hand.
I was saying the same thing. It's the beginning of
Same thing. Any
class
other?
document.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, Team Joy.
Rebirth, regenerate, and revive.
Yeah, that is the total essence. Thank you very much. So, dear friends, Vasant Panchami, it marks the end of freezing cold. First thing, right? Second, harvest time for mustard crop that we celebrate, especially in Haryana and Punjab. And third thing, that is the onset of spring season. Well, all of us know that what does this festival signify now, right? It also signifies a very important thing, that change is constant, right? Every winter has its spring, as you said. Spring, what does it mean? It means blooming buds, blooming flowers, fluttering butterflies, fresh air, and lots of sunlight, isn't it? That means life becomes alive again. And the earth revives and regenerates again. Well, we all start feeling rejuvenated. Aren't we feeling rejuvenated? Yes, I believe you are. Because that is what not only spring or not only Vasant Panchami does. Rather, Toastmasters meeting also does the same thing, us. So dear friends, let me introduce you to the structure of the meeting. Today's meeting will be divided into 3 sections as usual. The first one will be the colorful section of prepared speeches, wherein every speaker will try to spread the different hues of oratory skills. It will be followed by an energetic and exciting table topic section. And last but not least will be general evaluation section. Well, that will enable us to regenerate our thoughts, because we'll come to know about our strengths and weaknesses through this section. So dear friends, without further ado, let me tell you that this meeting cannot be carried forward alone by me. I have a team that is going to help me, a team of auxiliary role players. So it's time to invite them on stage. First of all, let me invite on stage the timer of the day, TM Vedant Pradhan, an engineering graduate. He used to relish saffron sweet rice with his family on Vasant Panchami. And today he is going to keep a track of the time. Over to you, TM Vedant.
Thank you, Timur. On the auspicious day of Vasant Panchami, I remember we used to get up early and fulfill our routine schedules in a time-bound manner so that we can be ready for the puja at the correct time. In short, this day also teaches us about the importance of time in our life. So that's my task for today, to keep a check on the time taken by the members and guests in today's meeting. For icebreaker speech, the allotted time is 4 to 6 minutes. A green card will be shown after 4 minutes, yellow at 5 minutes, and red at 6 minutes. For the speech segment, for the other speeches, a green card will be shown at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. For the table topic speakers, a green card will be shown at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5, and red at 2 minutes. For speech evaluators, a green card will be shown at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and red card at 3 minutes. Buffer time of 30 seconds on lower and upper side for all speakers will be given, except for the table topic speakers, where the buffer time of 30 seconds is only on the upper side. I will be presenting my final report in the evaluation segment. Back to Tmod.
Thank you very much, TM Vedant, for apprising us about the importance of time to be followed in the meeting. Let's invite on the stage DTM Sabar Girish, who has just joined us. And over to you, DTM Sabar Girish, as language evaluator.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends. My job today is to be the language evaluator. As the Toastmaster of the day said, change is the only constant, and probably nothing exemplifies it better than the cyclical and eternal change of seasons. When the winter is gone, can spring be far behind? It is just around the corner. Mother Earth is transiting through this change from just the dull gray of winter to the full bloom of the spring. And it is in this mood that we are celebrating the Vasant Panchami. So these 40 days after the Vasant Panchami till Holi, as the world regenerates itself, we have the spirit of spring coming in. And optimism, as she said, as well as hope and anticipation is the mode of the season. And therefore, for all the change that is happening around us, I thought we should also change one of the commonly done things of giving one word for the for the word of the day. So we have three this time: rebirth, regenerate, and revive, which is in mood with the change of the season. The challenge to you is to use one, but it'll be phenomenal if you can use all three in the right context. I have one other small job here, is to present the idiom of the day. An idiom is one where there are 3 or 4 words which mean independently something else. When collected together, it gives you a totally different meaning. The idiom of the day is spring to life. And how do you use it? One example would be, my garden sprang to life with the coming of the season. Or, after his initial misfortune, he sprang back to life once his startup became a unicorn. So my request to all Toastmasters is to use the words of the day, which do not require any further explanation, and the idiom of the day as many times as possible. And we will applaud you as you do that again and again. At the end of it, of course, I will be giving a report to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, and over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, DTM Sabar Girish, for starting back into action with the arrival of Vasant and in this meeting, and making our meeting right with different colors of your creativity. Thank you very much. Now is the time to welcome TM Praveen, who is going to play the role of our counter. TM Praveen is currently working in a pharmaceutical sector, and he remembers flying kites with his friends on the eve of Vasant Panchami. Over to you, TM Praveen.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi, for the introduction. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and fellow guests. I am Praveen Kumar, and I am playing the role of our counter in today's meeting. So, like when we join at Toastmasters, our main goal at Toastmasters is to become more effective at speaking. And one of the ways we do that is by removing distractions from our speaking. Like when giving speeches, we think that we are giving perfect speeches and perfect presentations, but sometimes we use some words or distractions which distract our audiences. So during our speeches, we aim to eliminate the use of utterances such as so, you know, or etc. So these words or sounds basically undermine our messages and distract the audiences to understanding our primary motive of our speeches. So as an counter, my role would be to note the use of filler words such as well, so, you know, filler sounds such as and use of repetitive phrases or words such as I, this means, and long and short pauses. I will present my report in the evaluation segment. Thank you, and back to Toastmaster Rashmi.
Thank you very much, TM Praveen. And now help me welcome on stage the parliamentarian of the day, TM Kashish Jain, who is pursuing his graduation from Delhi University. Over to you, TM Kashish Jain.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, for calling me up on the stage. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and the dear guests. I would like to wish Happy Basant Panchami, belated Basant Panchami to you all, as it is a sign of regenerating energy and starting new things. I wish that you start new things with this regenerating energy. I, Kashish Jain, the parliamentarian of today's meeting, is here with you to ensure that is the meeting conducted in a good diagram or there are some lacks which we need to improve. So I am ready with a few of my rules which I would like that you all follow that. So the number one rule is that everyone should keep their audio mute. Whenever you speak, then you turn on your video plus audio. And when you don't speak, then turn off your audio. Do not interrupt anyone else with your background voices. Second thing, that your phones must be on silent while attending the meeting. Do not tell that you have an Apple phone or an MI phone whenever you are in a meeting. The third thing is that the videos should be turned on all the time, and I will check how many videos were turned on. And be careful, I can take your names also. So take this in mind and turn on your videos, show some enthusiasm and interest in the meeting. Then the fourth point, the members should not indulge in any form of eating while you are in the meeting. Just do your dinner after a while. Fifth point is that sex, religion, and caste, politics, these topics are not a taboo. You can talk on them, but you must show a sensitivity toward them. So please be careful with this. These are the rules which I would wish that you all follow as adhering Toastmasters, and I will be back with my reports. Over to you, the TM mode of the day, and I wish that all the rules will be completely followed. Over to you, TM mode.
Thank you very much, TM Kashish. And dear Toastmasters, believe me, TM Kashish will be keeping a hawk eye on you. And now, over to TM Sanchit Bhushan, who is going to check our listening skills today. TM Sanchit, stage is all yours.
Yesterday at 4 a.m., Ma Swaraswati came into my dream. And I was like, Ma, I want to become a great speaker. Ma, please help me. I want to be an elegant speaker. How can I become? Saraswati Ma, words? If you want to become a good speaker, you have to master over a skill. Ma, which skill, Ma? You have to master over your listening skills. Every speaker was once a listener. Okay, Ma, but how can I imbibe that skill? Words, you can get this skill by practice. By practice, you can gain the skill of listening, and after that, you will become a great speaker. Okay, Ma, thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. In today's meeting, I will be playing the role of listener, and I will note down some questions from the content of the speakers, and that will be asked to you in the evaluation segment. So be more observant and be more attentive so that what the speaker tries to convey to his audience, the audience will get the same. Team Odd, ma'am, the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Wisdom. And now let us welcome the joke master of the day, TM Ritvik Dash, who is going to tickle our funny bones. Over to you, TM Ritvik. TM Ritvik, is he here or have we lost him?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
So just having a conversation with Ma Saraswati came in everything whatsoever. Let's now move forward to the joke. I remember one day I was in school. Some correspondents from Ramakrishna Mission had come to my institution. They were giving some philosophical talks. And being a very privileged backbencher, I was having at the front with my friends commenting, passing comments. Those boys, some people find them very irritating. I know. One of the correspondents said, "अपने विवेक को जगाओ, विवेक क्यों सो रहा है? विवेक को जगाओ," which translates to awaken your conscience. Why is it sleeping? Awaken it. Now, coincidentally, one of my classmates, his name was also Vivek. And also coincidentally, he was sleeping. So Vivek was sleeping and he was not having any conscience to listen to what the Baba was saying. Then the correspondent said, "अगर जरूरत पड़ी, विवेक को मारो, जो चाहो करो, अगर विवेक को जगाओ." Even if it is necessary, beat the Vivek, but you have to awaken it. You have to awaken it. Relive it. We started beating Vivek, our classmate. After that, our teachers came to us. "Why are you beating him?" We said, "Why? The Baba only told. He only told that beat Vivek, even if he is asleep. You got to awaken that." Then the Baba said, "Vivek ko awaken. Besides awakening your Vivek, you should also have some common sense." Then we said, "Okay, thank you very much." Over to the team.
Thank you very much, Ritvik Dash, for making us laugh in such a unique way and giving a captivating performance today. So, dear Toastmasters, now is the time for our first section of prepared speeches. So, the colorful section wherein every speech will take us into a different world. Because while preparing, the speakers, they revive their thought many times, regenerate them, and then come on the platform with a different form. So, first of all, let me begin by calling on stage evaluator 1, TM Abhishek Singh, who is a computer engineer, and he remembers his mother waking him up forcefully to worship Goddess Saraswati on the day of Vasant Panchami. So, welcome you, TM Abhishek, to read out the objectives of the speaker 1. Over to you. You are on mute. Not audible.
Am I audible?
Now you're on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Team Odd, and good evening, everyone. Today, TM Bhavanan Jha takes his first step towards prepared speeches and will be delivering his icebreaker speech, that is level 1, project 1, under the pathway presentation mastery, with a speech titled Introduction About Myself. The purpose of the speech is to introduce himself to the club and to learn the basic structures of public speaking. Timer, please note that the green card must be shown at the end of 4 minutes, the yellow card at the end of 5 minutes, and the red card at the end of 6 minutes. I wish you all the very best, TM Bhavananja. Thank you, everyone, and back to the TM model.
Thank you very much, TM Abhishek. And now is the time for TM Bhavanand Jha, an electronics and communication engineer, to come on stage. He feels thrilled while remembering how he used to participate in various activities on the day of Vasant Panchami. So he might be thrilled today also while coming on the stage to deliver his icebreaker speech. So all the very best to you, TM Bhavanand. TM Bhavanand, introduction about himself. Introduction about himself, TM Bhavanand. Over to you.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Real winners are not those who never failed, but I would say real winners are those who failed several times and bounced back all times. Myself, Bhavanand Jha, born in 1983. I did my schooling from primary school of my village of Darbhanga district in Bihar. I am not hesitating to say I was brilliant that time. And after that, I was admitted in high school of my town. Unknowingly, I got trapped in several thoughts and I became unfocused. After inter, I prepared for IIT, but I couldn't crack. Eventually, I was admitted in one engineering college. But during BTech, I analyzed those who cracked IIT and those who didn't crack IIT. What was the difference? And I realized that was only one difference. That was degree of concentration. After bachelor, I completed my master's degree and currently I am in teaching field and pursuing PhD from DTU. In childhood, I used to go temple and prayed, "Hey Lord, please give me this, please give me that, please give good marks." But one day I realized, if God is supreme power, He knows everything, then why I should demand for this, for that? And after that, my way of prayer is completely changed. I would also say, in childhood, I was less sporty. And I realized from experience, there must be a balance between whatever you do and physical activity. When you do physical activity, then your mind works properly. I would also say in childhood, I was a shy kind of person. I feel I was away from individuality. I ask myself, why you can't express yourself? Why you can't speak clearly in front of audience? I told myself, if you can't do that, it means you are wasting your life given by Supreme Lord. My hobbies are yoga, meditation, and inquiry about myself. This was my interest from childhood because I was, you can say, I was a spiritual type of person. So even now, I think myself, why I am here? What is the goal of my life? I used to think. One day, I was listening one video on YouTube. Then I knew importance of Toastmasters. Then I decided to join Toastmasters. My aim is to improve public speaking skills, leadership skills, and many more. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, TM Bhavanand. Of course, you might have felt it as your rebirth in the public speaking journey. Thank you very much. And now let us welcome on the stage TM Akshat Goyal, a commerce graduate from SRCC, who is passionate about reading and watching cricket. And he remembers flying kites at his aunt's house in Punjab on Vasant Panchami. So do we remember so many things related to Vasant Panchami, which we'll be discussing later on. So I request TM Akshat Goyal to please come on the stage and introduce the objectives of TM Navya. Over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Akshat, and today I will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Navya. Today, Toastmaster Navya will be starting her level 2. She will be delivering her Project 1 speech, which is Understanding Your Communication Styles. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. Timer, please note time allotted for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish the speaker all the very best. Thank you, and over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, TM Akshat. And now is the time to call upon the stage TM Navya, a trained Kathak dancer. She enjoyed her Vasant Panchami at her dance academy by worshipping goddess Saraswati and of course by performing dance. So it is the time to call TM Navya on the stage. TM Navya, different communication styles. TM Navya, stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. I think everyone in this world have their own unique style of communication. You may talk to 100 of people a day, but a very few scratch your mind and you want to listen more and more from that person. For example, a couple of meetings back, we had a speaker from outside the club, DTM Sayantan Das. I think most of you remember him. For me, this speaker was someone I can never forget in my life. So, what was in his speech that caught up all my attention in just a span of few seconds? Was it the theme of the speech? Or was it the matter he used, like the vocabulary, the phrases he used in his speech? The answer is a big no. It was the way he presented his speech. So the thing he used that grasped all my attention was the style of communication. Research also says that most of the people fell in love with the speeches is because of the communication style he used. So the first thing I did was I researched about the different communication styles. Well, the first one I came across was the initiative style. Here, the communicators are more energetic and enthusiastic. They are sociable and they often come across as very engaging and fun. I would think that the motivational speakers are more of this kind, and for as of now, I am definitely not of this kind. Further, then I came across was the supportive style. These communicators are seen as quite opposite of initiative style. They are calm and collected and listen to more than they talk. They often engage the audience to listen to their views and receive feedback. The environment is generally more relaxed and personal in this type of communication. I have often seen some speakers in health talks where they elect their personal stories from the audience so that they can give some advice or like this. Then I found about the direct communicators. They are result oriented and focused. They tend to get straight to point to achieve their goals. They may come across as more demanding and impatient, but there is one positive thing that no time is wasted in this type of communication. Some, I think some interaction with the audience may make them a little more pleasant. It may make the conversation a little more pleasant. Then the last one I came across was the analytical communication. These communicators are precise and cautious. To me, what they say is often backed by evidence. They may come across with too many serious injection of figures and facts, but I feel that some sort of humor may be in order to make the presentation more acceptable would be fun to to see too much of analysis would make the audience feel a little bored. So I have sat in various presentations where there are too many analytical reports or too many fact figures that the speaker use, and they actually make the audience feel less interested in the speaker's speech. So when I researched all about these communication styles, I then analyzed that my communication style, I actually had to research about my communication style, then I actually had to watch myself speaking. Let me tell you, that was the hardest part for preparing my speech. It's been around 4 to 5 months since I've joined CDTM, and I have played some or the other role in every meeting. And as of now, as we all know, all recordings are uploaded on YouTube. They are available. So I am someone who hates listening to her own voice. So every time I used to watch a recording, I couldn't listen to myself for more than 5 seconds. But last week, I did. And for the very first time, I felt that yes, I have actually improved. I was able to listen to myself and could listen to my speech and could feel that it's not perfect, but yes, I am able to speak like I was not in this position for, like, if I compare myself 2 to 3 months back. So as of now, I feel I have a direct communication style, but I would definitely want that to be changed and would want to achieve an initiative style. So communication style is like a vehicle on the road that takes you to your destination. You'll have to pick the right vehicle for the right destination. You don't need a sophisticated aircraft if you want to go to a grocery store nearby your house. A bicycle would do that. Similarly, use the right communication style with the right people and at the right place to get the perfect results you want. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, TM Navya. What a candid confession, and what a wonderful way of telling that don't use car whenever bicycle can do. Use the right manner of communication at right time, right place. Thank you very much. Now I request all the fellow Toastmasters and guests to please give the feedback for both the speakers in the chat box. But before that, I would like to request all of you to give a standing ovation to TM Bhavanand for his icebreaker speech. Please. Thank you very much. And you can take a few seconds to give your feedback for both the speakers in the chat box. While the feedbacks are going on, now let me invite on stage TM Pragati Jain, the coffee queen of CDTM, who celebrated Vasant Panchami at her daughter's dance academy. Wonderful. TM Pragati Jain, stage is all yours. TM Pragati.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. I am Toastmaster Pragati Jain, will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Sadaf Ashraf. This is L2 P1 under the pathway presentation mastery. The total time given would be 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of this project is to learn about different communication style and to identify her own style. The title of the speech is Aquaphobia. I'm quite keen on this title, on listening to this title, and hope all of you are quite keen by listening to this topic, aquaphobia. Just regenerate and revive all the energies, TM Sadaf, and just show to the world that you have arrived. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, TM Rashmi Shikri.
Thank you very much, TM Pragati, for apprising us about the objectives of the speaker, TM Sadaf. TM Sadaf, a chemical engineer, remembers worshipping goddess Saraswati on Vasant Panchami when she was a child. So TM Sadaf, I'm inviting you on the stage, TM Sadaf, aquaphobia. Aquaphobia, TM Sadaf. Over to you.
Thank you, Timot. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guest. I, Sadaf Ashraf, presenting my speech on aquaphobia. So almost every person you meet in your life, including yourself, have some sort of fears. And my love to meet diverse kind of people and listen to their stories, I got to know people have some bizarre kind of fears. So in my last trek, I met a person who got fear of number 8. Can you believe that? Yes, it is a true story. In the same way, I had aquaphobia. It means that a large amount of water collected in one place gave me enormous fear. So some of you must be wondering, how could somebody get the fear of water? As a matter of fact, our human body made of salt and water. So let's give you a brief note about how people generally get strange fears. So generally it happened because of some bad incident happened in your life, most specifically in your childhood. And it is our brain collect different scenario in a very complex, twisted way, and we start perceiving the world in such a way that it didn't happen to us at all, and God acquired some strangest fears. So I realized I had this phobia 4 years back, and I see myself as a problem solver. So every time any problem come in my life, I'm so rushed to solve my problem as soon as possible. So in the same way, I reacted in this situation. So what we do when we try to find out the answer, where do we really look at? Yes, I Google it. So I found out 2 answers. One is taking the therapy. So if you ever taken a therapy or you gone through the fee of a therapist, you must know that for one session, the therapist takes rupees 5,000. And a therapist at least takes 7 to 8 sessions to get familiar with your problem. At that time, I was a student. And you already know how much money we generally get from home. And in my case, I was always broke. So in the next stage, facing the fears. Well, quite Rodi's thought, but I really wanted to get rid of this fear as soon as possible. So I decided to participate in water sport. So I took the solo trip of Rishikesh to do the river rafting 3 years back. And Rishikesh and river rafting complement each other in such a way that one word can't be thought of another. So I reached the Rishikesh and booked the ticket for river rafting and went near the riverside. And I saw 6 hippie guys also waiting to hop on the boat with me and the tourist guide. I was so nervous to sat on the boat, but somehow I started my journey with lifesaver jacket on. So when one wave passed, tourist guide told us, jump into the river. I was like, what? That was not in my plan. But one by one, every guy jumped into the river. And I'm the person, if they can do it, I can do it too. So after doing the 10 seconds of self-pep talk, I also jump into the river. So I tell you, I have never gone near the swimming pool. I didn't know what to do with my hand or leg in the water. So I did some embarrassing dance poses in the water, and it didn't happen 1 time or 2 times. It happened 6 times because every time they jumped, I jumped. Moving ahead, if you ever done the river rafting in the Rishikesh, you must know that there's a place called Cliff Point where people jump from the 40 feet height. And also almost every boat stop there. According to tourist guide, it is the most exciting part of the river rafting. Well, God knows. So where we went near the cliff, one by one, every guy jumped from that cliff. So guess what? I also had to jump. So I was standing near the cliff and I started doing the SWOT analysis, means analyzing the situation, what the pros and cons of the situation that I was standing in front of it. So I asked myself, Sadaf, if you jump from here right now, what will worst happen to you? So my inner me told me, well, for starters, you're wearing the lifesaver jacket. If something go wrong, you are going to float on the surface of water in the next 5 to 6 hours, and somebody will surely come to save you. And next thing is, it doesn't matter at all. Now you can embarrass yourself in front of large gathering. So let's jump. If you don't do it now, you are not going to do it ever. So I jumped. And the 3 seconds when my full body was inside the water, I must tell you, it was the most deadly and amazing experience of my life. And I can bet that I'm not going to forget that 3-second moment till the oblivion. Nowadays, moving back, when I come back from the river after a few minutes, I knew one thing, that I was a different person. From the person who was so nervous to sat on the boat with 7 strangers 45 minutes back. I now know that I can do anything, whatever I set my mind for. And these days, I am thinking about taking the swimming classes to get rid of completely fear of water from me, because we all know repetition brings the familiarity and familiarity brings the comfort. And I would like to end my speech with a very special poem. And here it goes. Don't give up. Don't give in. There's always an answer to everything. And I found myself running from calamity, insanity to sanity. This is the reality. And we forget who created us and molded us and made us human beings with details and fashion of DNA and genes, who gave us mind to judge our own action and routines by all means. Don't give up. Don't give in. There's always an answer to everything. Thank you. Over to you, Taimur.
Thank you very much, TM Sadaf. Well, what a speech it was, rather, I must say that how wonderfully and how daringly you overcame your fear. Yes, dear, there is no other way to overcome the fear but to face it. You proved it. And you sprang out of the fear by doing what even we cannot think of. You have given me goosebumps, and I believe everybody might be feeling the same. So I request all of you to please give feedback to TM Sadafs. And also I request the Tech Master to please launch the polls for the best speaker. So
the polls are now on everyone's screens.
Yeah.
We had 3 speakers today: Toastmaster Bhavan and Jha, Toastmaster Navya Niti Makkar, and Toastmaster Sadaf Ashraf. Please vote for who you thought was the best speaker today. Let's take 5 more seconds to do that. A few more votes remaining. Closing the polls in another 2 seconds. And we're closing them now. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Rashmi.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful, colorful session it was. And now, dear Toastmasters, I request all of you to first of all switch on your cameras so that I can interact with you and carry forward the meeting. Please switch on the cameras and spring back into momentum. Yes. Tell me, whose birthday is celebrated on Vasant Panchami? Raise your virtual hands and tell me whose birthday is celebrated on Vasant Panchami. TM Sparshita, go ahead.
Goddess Saraswati.
And?
I don't know.
Anybody else? Thank you very much. Goddess Saraswati. Okay, I'll do that. Goddess Saraswati, God's son, and one more thing. Yeah, yes, you know that it was celebrated on 5th of February. Which day, according to Hindu calendar, was it? Can you tell me? It was the, yes, go ahead.
Magh Vasant Panchami.
Yes, the month is Magh according to Hindu calendar, and it is celebrated on the 5th day of Magh month according to Hindu calendar. And yes, the third thing is that it is the birthday of our universe. Yes, it is believed that God Brahma had created universe on this day. So with this, I request all of you to spring back into action, because now is the time to hand over the stage to the table topic master, TM Joy, to conduct exciting table topic section. Over to you, TM Joy.
Thank you, Timod. This side, TM Joy. Don't think joy to be all fun and games. Right now, I am the master of table topics. I only have one question. U antava mama. Antava mama. Antava mama. Antava mama. That's Telugu for, will you say yes or will you say no to the challenge of impromptu speaking? This is how it's going to work. I pick anyone from the Zoom screen, some non-role-playing club members, but preferably guests and newcomers who volunteer. Then I ask a question to which you respond for between 1 to 2 minutes. You will be shown a green card at 1 minute. That's the minimum you have to speak to be eligible for the best table topic speaker reward. There will be a yellow card at 1.5 minutes and a red one at 2. There will be 30 extra seconds of grace period for if you need them. Speaking unrehearsed on a topic given on the spot requires you to draw upon 3 critical communication skills. 1, listening carefully to understand the question. 2, organizing your thoughts clearly but concisely. And 3, speaking effectively to engage the audience and leave them with something to remember. The idiom of the day is spring to life, and the words of the day are rebirth, regenerate, and revive. I remind you to consider using these in your speech, or else TM Joy will spring back to life and wreak havoc. Toastmaster of the day, Madam Rashmi Sikri, has chosen today's theme as rejuvenation. As per her orders, you will need to explain and elaborate on new choices given to you. Let's take the virtual stage on fire. I will start by asking any of the experienced Toastmasters to raise their hand and be the first victim. I can't see on my screen, so I will need someone to tell me who is raising their hand. May I?
All of you are requested to volunteer, those who are not playing a role, as well as the guests.
May I pick TM Amandeep Kaur, our new member, to volunteer as the first table topic speaker.
Hi, thank you, Joy.
Would you do that?
Yes.
Would you do that? Thank you so much. TM Amandeep, please pick a number between 1 to 9 to select your topic.
5.
TM Amandeep, you must go undercover with a new identity. What new name will you choose for yourself? You must go undercover with a new identity. What new name will you choose for yourself, TM Amandeep?
Okay. If I go invisible, you mean?
Undercover.
Undercover. Okay. If I go undercover for one day, I will rename myself as Miss India Uncover. So, well, Miss India has 2 different meanings. It relates to one in the fashion world and one that I have just created myself, that is the undercover mission. So the undercover mission that I will choose for myself will be, first of all, I'd like to enjoy peeking into some windows and have my fun, maybe during the day when people are, in their houses doing their course, or maybe peep into classrooms because I miss school. And then when I get to the mission, the undercover mission that I will be chosen for, I will go and maybe help poor people. I've seen in Delhi that there are a lot of poor people who literally shiver during the nights. So I'd like to give them some relief with some food, with some blankets, or anything that helps them, makes their life a little more easier. Thank you.
That was a great on-the-spot speech, TM Amandeep. I would like to invite on the virtual stage guest Ayan next. Guest Ayan, are you ready? Guest Ayan, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Guest Ayan, please choose any number between 1 to 9 except 5.
7.
Say that again, please.
7.
I didn't hear that.
7.
7. Guest Ayan, you can bring any historical figure back to life for an interview. Who will you choose? You can bring any historical figure back to life for an interview. Who will you choose? Guest Ian.
I will choose Kapil Dev because historical. Sorry.
Kapil Dev will work.
Okay, fine. So I will choose Kapil Dev because he's first Indian captain to win the Cricket World Cup, and he's an inspiration to so many of us. And the recently released movie also showed it showed in detail how he inspired the team to win. So and I think I will ask him in the interview.
Perhaps Toastmaster Jan could tell us what would the conversation between him and
Kapil Dev be? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will ask him tips related to bowling, which I will find beneficial for myself. So, and maybe pick his brains in terms of captaincy, because his leadership skills are outstanding. So maybe yeah, that.
All right, that was great, guest. I can see that you watched 83 recently. That was a great movie. I watched it too. Next on virtual stage is guest Gautam. Guest Gautam, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to revive myself.
Yes. Please pick a number between 1 to 9, except 5 or 7.
I chose 9, number 9.
Number 9, guest Gautam. You can be appointed as head of state of any country in the world. Which country will you choose to lead? You can be appointed as the head of state of any country in the world. Which country will you choose to lead, guest Gautam?
Thank you, Toastmaster. It's a different one, but I would like to choose the head of China, to be honest, and try to get insight of China and see like how they are operating in the world. And even though the world is moving towards a different direction, China is moving towards a different directions. Their thought process, their way of living, their way of eating, way of thinking is quite different, right? They're not matching with the other parts of the world. So probably I'll go inside China and see like how they're operating there, and how they're, even though having so many population in that country, they're managing things quite well. Plus they also have different I would say work employments are there. There are things that people are not coming outside of China and working, but there itself they're creating those employments. There itself they're creating so many systems. So I try to go there and then see the workings there. Thank you.
That was excellent job, guest Gautam. You have the makings of a great leader. And next on virtual stage, to set the stage on fire, I invite our very own distinguished Toastmaster, Deepak Menon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joy. I see there are many guests who have raised their hands. I think we should give them an opportunity to speak. rather than my coming onto the stage. I'd love to, but I'd like to give them the opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your altruistic gesture. Next on virtual stage is guest Apurva. Guest Apurva, are you ready?
Yes.
Guest Apurva, you can choose any number from 1 to 9 except 5, 7, and 9.
I'll choose number 2.
Number 2, guest Apurva, you will get only one food to eat for the rest of your life. What dish will you choose? You will get only one food to eat for the rest of your life. What dish will you choose? Guest Apurva.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on the stage. And hello, everyone. My name is Apurva. So for the rest of my life, if I will be given the chance to choose one food, I will probably look towards the South Indian dishes, which would be dosa, because that's my only favorite dish. Every time I try it, whenever I go out with my friends or family in any restaurant. And the reason behind this, I'm choosing this particular dish is because the taste and the making of that particular dish is very unique. You will not get the proper the spices and the mixes you have in that particular food, the sambar and the dosa fillings which you get in that. It's kind of very unique and it's very attractive to me. And yes, it would be a great thing for me that I will have the dosa for the rest of my life. Thank you.
That was a great speech, guest Apurva. I think due to lack of time, I would like to end with one last table topic back to DTM Deepak, if he will volunteer, and that will be our last table topic speech.
Okay.
DTM Deepak, are you?
All right, Joy.
DTM Deepak.
Madam, Mr. Toastmaster.
You have a choice between 1 to 9, except 2, 5, 7, and 9.
I will allow you to pick one for me.
Well, I will choose number 1, DTM Deepak.
But that's what I said, right? I will allow you to pick one for me.
And that's exactly what I did. You come back as a bird in your next life. What kind of bird will you choose to be? You come back as a bird in your next life. What kind of bird will you choose to be, DTM Deepak Menon?
Of course, the Toastmaster bird. What other bird can I be, Mr. Table Topics Master? Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, I have been a Toastmaster now for 20 years. Yes, 20. So clearly, I am now a Toastmaster for life. But just one lifetime as a Toastmaster? I don't think that's enough. I have to be a Toastmaster forever in all the remaining lifetimes that I'm going to have. For all I know, I must have been a Toastmaster in my previous life too. After all, we're soon going to be celebrating 100 years of Toastmasters. And I'm not yet 100 years old. So clearly, I may have had the opportunity of being a Toastmaster earlier too. But we're talking about coming back to life. When I am reborn and I'm revived, will I get regenerated as a Toastmaster? Will I spring to life with my feathers as a Toastmaster too? Many years ago, I was driving with my daughter, taking her to college, and we were crossing a bridge. And there, on the bridge, I noticed all these pigeons flying around. There were some pigeons sitting on the railing, and then there were some pigeons in the air. And it struck me that that was a Pigeon Toastmasters Club. Yes, they were sitting on the railing watching the others perform, and then some of them would come back onto the railing and others would fly in out there to perform themselves. So there is hope for me. When I'm a bird, I'll be the Toastmaster bird. Mr. Topics Master.
That was an excellent one, DTM, as usual. All right. So that is the end of this section of table topic. Thank you, everyone, for participating. You knew you had an offer that you could not refuse. After this, I am handing the stage back over to T Mod of the day, Madam Rashmi Sikri. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, all-rounder Toastmaster Joy, for conducting such a wonderful session. Listening to the Telugu melodies from you, to such an exciting session. It was great. And first of all, I would like to appreciate you, as well as kudos to all the volunteers who came upon the stage to volunteer, because they might have realized that impromptu speaking is not a cakewalk, but they might have also realized that springing back into action is the only resort. And what they did, hundreds round of applause for them, and hundreds round of applause for DTM Deepak Menon for setting the stage on fire. Now, may I request the tech master to please launch the polls for the best table topic speaker. I hope all of us are done with the polls. So, dear Toastmasters, the session was really ecstatic, energetic, although it started slowly, and it represented the spirit of yellow color. Yes, besides brightness, and what does yellow color represent? Can anyone tell me? What
Friendship.
does yellow color represent?
Friendship.
Yes?
Friendship.
Friendship. Okay. That may be the new connotation of yellow color. Besides that, one word
It's a
only.
symbol of, okay. So whenever someone gives you a yellow rose, you understand that there is no more chance to get in a relationship.
Youngsters are dreaming of, I think, 14th Feb. Yellow flowers.
Concentration.
That's good. That's the spirit. Yes, yes, why not? Yes, that is called optimism, I would sum. So yellow color does not only represent light, brightness, energy, rather it represents optimism also. So be optimistic, to listen to your feedbacks, and let me invite on stage the general evaluator of the day, TM Sparshita. TM Sparshita, over to you.
Thank you so much, T-Mod. A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Before moving on to the evaluation segment, I would like to underscore the importance of evaluation. So evaluation helps us to know what is working well and what needs to be improved. It helps us to improve and enhance our understanding of common speech making practices, making us a better speaker every time we step up on the stage. With this, I would like to start the segment by first inviting the evaluators of our prepared speeches. And let's first invite evaluator 1, TM Abhishek, who will be going to evaluate TM Bhavanand. So TM Abhishek, the stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. First of all, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
First, so congratulations to TM Bhavanand Jha for completing his first prepared speech to the club and fulfilling his objective of Level 1 Project 1 and introducing himself to the club. Kudos to you on that. To begin with the commendations, the speaker has a very unique style of delivery. His voice, his pace, his speaking style makes his speech very engaging to the audience. The speaker also used physical gestures very effectively. His hand gestures and his movements were very effective. The speaker also maintained good eye contact with the audience, and the speaker also appeared to be very comfortable with the audience. So, great work on that from the speaker side. We at Toastmasters believe at improving at every step and making a good speech a better one at the next time. So, here are some recommendations. Firstly, just a small recommendation. The speaker could have used a better title to introduce his life rather than just keeping introduction to myself. Secondly, the speaker can work a bit on his vocal varieties and facial expressions so that it would make his speech more engaging. For example, while saying I started preparing for IIT, but sadly I couldn't make it. You could have said I started preparing for IIT, but sadly I couldn't make it. So that was the recommendation from my side. Overall, it was a very good speech for an icebreaker. To sum up, it was a very engaging speech. There was a there were good uses of physical gestures and there were good eye contacts. So just keep in mind the recommendations and you will definitely spring to life the next time. Thank you everyone. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, TM Abhishek, for your elaborated evaluation. Now let's invite evaluator 2, TM Akshat, who will be evaluating TM Navya. TM Akshat, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I had a lovely time listening to Toastmaster Navya talk about communication styles because the purpose of the project was to talk about different communication styles in general or talk about her communication style. What Toastmaster Navya did was fabulous. She touched upon both the aspects. She started with talking about different communication styles and then explained about her particular communication style, which is the direct communication style. And I think she has rightly selected it because for me also, the direct communication style is her communication style. Now, why am I saying this? She explained that people with direct communication style are result oriented and they are focused to achieve their goal. These qualities I was able to clearly see in her speech. The way she researched about her communication style, like watching videos and then judging about her communication style, was fabulous. What I also liked about her speech was that she explained each communication style in detail and each was with an example. Another thing which I liked about her speech was the content placement. Her speech was proper, well structured. She started with talking about communication styles in general. Then she moved on to talk about different communication styles, and very certainly she talked about her particular communication style and connected it with a personal story. Now, as she herself has said that she would like to become a speaker with an initiative communication style. For that, I think she can do two things. First was that she could have started her speech with a question. For example, she could have enacted one or two communication styles and asked the audience, what communication style am I talking about? Second recommendation I have for her is that she could have been more energetic. I thought she was a little low on energy. And if she wants to become a speaker with an initiative communication style, thus the speaker has to be engaging and energy has to be high. Overall, I think with the quality content that she presented by engaging the audience with some high energy, I think it's a wow speech out there. I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Navya for completing her project 1 of her level 2, and I wish the speaker all the best for her future speeches. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, TM Akshat. Now let's invite evaluator 3, TM Pragati, who will be evaluating TM Sadaf. TM Pragati, the stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator Spashita Verma. What an exemplary speech TM Sadaf gave today about aquaphobia and overcoming your fears. The voice was very loud and clear. Her face was clearly visible. The camera angle was brilliantly set. She had an eye contact with an audience. The speaker used her hand gestures as a means of communication. Her body language was quite confident. The structure of the speech was neat. It was a great start, and what a finish with the poem, Don't Give Up and Don't Give In. We could visualize her journey, her rafting journey, and meeting hippies and her efforts in overcoming her fears of being an aquaphibian. And also her journey of jumping off the cliff. The visualization was very clear and apparent. And as a recommendation, I would like to say the speaker could have mentioned the type of communication style she's referring to. And I also observed the speaker could have avoided the filler word so. In the place of so, she could have used hence, likewise, similarly, as well, or in order to, and words like this. And she could have used more dramatic expression going forward. Concluding the speech by saying that the speaker was vibrant and confident throughout her speech, but has to work upon her filler words. The major takeaway from the speech is you can do anything if you decide it very hard. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, TM Pragati, for your evaluation. I would like to request the Tech Master to raise the ballots for the best speech evaluator.
The polls are now on everyone's screens. We had 3 speech evaluators today: Toastmaster Abhishek Singh, Toastmaster Akshat Goyal, and Toastmaster Pragati Jain. Please take 5 to 10 seconds to vote for the best speech evaluator. We have 80% votes in. I would request all the others to kindly vote quickly. Thank you. Ending the polls now. Back to you, Toastmaster Spashada.
Thank you, TM Shivangi. So now I would like to evaluate the speech evaluators. Starting with the evaluator 1, TM Abhishek. I would like to commend him on the way he gave examples for every commendation he had for TM Bhavanand. His tone was quite motivating and inspirational. The only recommendations I would like to give him is that he could have also gave his takeaway from the speech. What did he learn and what lesson he received from the speech of TM Bhavanand? And I would have also liked the evaluator to speak about the fulfillment of speech objectives, whether the speaker was able to fulfill the objectives or not. Overall, the evaluation was very thorough and it was very good. Coming to the evaluator 2, TM Akshat. TM Akshat also talked about the speech objectives thoroughly in his introduction. And his praise was very personalized and generally advised. Use the evaluation in the third person. And again, the same recommendations for TM Akshat to give his takeaway from the speech and also talk about the speech objectives, whether they were fulfilled or not. Coming to evaluator 3, TM Pragati. She has used CRC approach very well, gave examples about her recommendations and commendations. And I would like to praise her that she gave her takeaway from the speech. The only commendation is that she could also talk about the fulfillment of the speech objectives of the speaker. With this, I'm done with the evaluation of speech evaluators. And now I would like to invite a team of auxiliary role players to present their reports. Starting with the timer of the day, TM Vedant. TM Vedant, the stage is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Just a second. Okay. Okay, so TM Bhavan took 4 minutes 44 seconds. TM Navya took 6 minutes 55 seconds. TM Sadaf took 7 minutes 1 seconds. And in the table topic segment, TM Amandip took 1 minute 20 seconds. Guest Ayan took 2 minutes 12 seconds. Guest Gautam took 1 minute 14 seconds. Guest Apurva Singh took 1 minute 8 seconds. The distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon took 2 minutes 20 seconds, 10 seconds. And in the speech evaluator segment, TM Abhishek took 2 minutes 3 seconds. TM Akshat took 2 minutes 31 seconds. TM Pragati took 1 minute 50 seconds. And TM Sparshita took 1 minute 34 seconds. So that's all from my side. Back to general evaluator.
Thank you, TM Vedant, for your report. I would like to invite the language evaluator of the day, TM Sabri Gresh. TM Sabri Gresh, the stage is yours.
General evaluator of the day, it is indeed a privilege for me to have a platter so full of such delectable linguistic usages, and only a smattering of an odd and occasional not so good usage of the language. I loved Bhavanand's that pithy, right from the heart speech, in which he brought out the emotions with exceptionally good usages, such as inquiry about myself, telling us about how he was looking inwards for a change, and also in a strange way about him using the word cracked the IIT. You cannot crack IIT even a verbal sense, but it brings out the enormity of the competition that you have to really requires a bulldozer to get in. I love that. But at the same time, I would also like to just tell him that the usage that shy kind of person could have been a shy person, and the I changed the way I prayer could have been the way I prayed, changed the way I prayed. Navya, I can imagine the emphasis with which she said the big no. Actually, the big actually adds such an importance to the emphasis to the no that it becomes an excellent usage. She also had an alliteration, calm and composed, and also another dual usage of precise and cautious. I am not sure whether I heard it right or wrong, but somewhere I thought she said sociable. I may be wrong, but it would, if she did say that, it is probably a better usage, or the correct usage would be sociable. Sadaf, the inner me that she used about the one whose outside is different from the inner me, very good use. She described fear with various adjectives: bizarre fear and enormous fear. And the usage that she will never forget till oblivion was an exceptionally good use. Just to caution you that rupees 500 is in writing. When it translated into words, it is always 500 rupees. Well, of course, it was a joy to listen to Joy. Can never forget the Untawa Mama, which he translated rightly. And of course, his description of the stage that I have in front of me, the laptop, as a looming screen at one time, and at a later stage is saying that it was a virtual stage. But the appropriate use of altruistic gesture, which he caught on, the instant DTM I'm sorry, Deepak Menon said it. Yeah, DTM Deepak Menon said it. The instant he heard that, he caught on and used that language. But of all this, the quotable quotes of the day are: every speaker was once a listener. I think that was Sanchit who said it. And of course, Navya, you do not require a sophisticated aircraft to go to a grocery store. And finally, my favorite, don't give up, do give in, by Sadar. Now, to end the review, we had three of the speakers, Ritvik, Joy, and Deepak, using all the three words, not one, two, all the three words. And of course, Pragati used two of them. And Ritvik, Deepak, and Joy again used spring to life, the idiom of the day. With that, I end my report. Over to the general evaluator of the day.
Thank you, TM Girish. It was such a detailed report. I would like to invite the R counter of the day, TM Praveen, today. TM Praveen, the stage is yours.
Yes, thank you, General Evaluator. So I will present my report. So during the first segment, which was the prepared speeches, in that first, Toastmaster Bhavanand Jha had used the filler sounds and one time each. and he had used the word I was repeatedly 2 times. And Toastmaster Navya had used the word filler sound and one time each. And Toastmaster Sadaf Ashraf had used the filler words well and so 2 times. And during the table topic speeches, guest Ayan and guest Apurv had used the filler sounds 3 to 5 times. In the end, so this was my report. In the end, I would urge all speakers to abstain from the use of filler words and filler sounds by taking proper pauses at frequent intervals between speeches and thoroughly structuring the speeches so that they could become a more effective communicator. Thank you. This is the end of my report, and back to General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Praveen. I would like to invite the parliamentarian of today, TM Kashish now. TM Kashish, the stage is yours.
Toastmaster Kashish couldn't be here with us for some reason, so I will be presenting the parliamentarian's report on his behalf. So clearly, our speakers today did not get interrupted by a pressure cooker sound or perhaps a honking horn, which clearly means that all of us stayed on mute unless we were asked to speak. So I appreciate you all for doing that. Now, while some of us might start to feel hungry by now, I appreciate that no one had to eat on screen. Thank you again for doing that. There were no negative references made during the meeting, so the decorum of the meeting was maintained with grace. Now, most of us try to switch on our videos from time to time. I understand that it might not be possible to do that throughout the entirety of the meeting, but thank you for making the efforts. And at last, I would like to say that I would encourage you all to be the kind of audience that you would like to have while you are delivering your speech. Thank you. And back to the General Evaluator.
Thank you, TM Shivangi, for your report. Now I would like to invite the listener of the day, TM Sanchit. TM Sanchit, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Ma Saraswati, you really blessed me. You really blessed me, Ma Saraswati. I got to know the importance of practice now. So the Toastmasters and guests, are you ready for the questions? Are you ready?
Yes,
Yes, we're ready.
Okay. So the first question from Speaker 1, Toastmaster Bhavanan. For what did he prepare after his 12th? You have to just raise your hand. Don't unmute and say something, but you have to raise your hand at first. I will choose who will answer. For what did Toastmaster Bhavanan prepare after his 12th? Please raise your hand. Okay, guest Gautam, you may go now.
Yeah, he was preparing for IIT after his 12th.
Right. Do you know full form of IIT?
Yeah, Indian Institute of Technology.
Well done, brother. Well done. So the next question from Toastmaster Navya, second speaker. What's there in the speech which hooks the attention of audience? What's there in the speech which hooks the attention of audience? Raise your hand. Okay, Deepak sir, you may go now.
Thank you. She was talking about distinguished Toastmaster Chantan Das, and she said it was his communication style that got her attention.
Right, sir, right. Absolutely right. And the third question from Toastmaster Sadaf. What she did to get rid of the aquaphobia? What she did to get rid of the aquaphobia? Her first step. Oh, guest Apurva. Right, guest Apurva, you may go now.
Well, she went to Rishikesh to get rid of her aquaphobia, and she tried things, some activities over there.
What kind of activities?
Like jumping and into the river.
Oh, okay, right. Anyone else?
She went for river rafting.
Who said this? Rocky. It's
I.
right answer.
Yeah.
Right answer. And the last question from Gautam, to guest Gautam. For which country he wants to be appointed as a head? For which country he wants to be appointed as a head? Okay, Toastmaster Amandeep Kaur, you may go now.
China.
Right answer. I think Ma Saraswati blessed us all. Thank you from my side, and back to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, TM Sanchit, for testing out our listening skills. I would like the tech master to raise the ballots for the best auxiliary role player.
The polls are now on everyone's screens. We had our timer Toastmaster Vedant, language evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Girish, our counter Toastmaster Praveen, parliamentarian Toastmaster Kashish, listener Toastmaster Sanchit, and joke master Toastmaster Ritvik. I would request everyone to vote in the next 5 seconds. And closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, TM Shivangi. And now I would like to evaluate the auxiliary role players, starting with the timer of the day, TM Vedant. He explained his role very well and read the timings very thoroughly. And also, while he was introducing himself, he related to the theme, showed the cards on time, and he also presented the report very thoroughly by showing out the spreadsheet. Few recommendations from him would be to show the cards during his introduction also, to let the guests know what kind of cards are going to show up in the meeting. And also, while presenting his report, I don't know, by mistake, he mentioned my name also. So the timer doesn't have to evaluate the timings of the general evaluator. So better focus on that part for the next time. Overall, you played the role very well. Coming to the language evaluator, DTM Girish. First of all, I would like to commend him for the innovation he has done to the role. Instead of giving one word, he has given 3 words as well as an idiom today, and also explained those things in his introduction quite well. Talked about the theme as well. And during the report, he gave a very detailed report of our good usages and not so good usages as well. Few recommendations for him would be to share the words of the day in the chat box, not even once, twice or thrice, so that people should know we have to use this word in the meeting and they get reminded every time you share in the chat box. And the second would be to tell the audience to show a thumbs up whenever the word of the day used, so that the speakers who are using it get motivated and you also get a chance to easily notice when the word is being used. Overall, you played the role very thoroughly. Coming to the counter of the day, TM Praveen, he explained the role very well, and in the report also find out the filler word sounds and short pauses as well. The only recommendation for him would be to talk about a bit more about the theme in his intro. Apart from that, he played the role well. Coming to the parliamentarian of the day, TM Kashish. So I could evaluate his introduction also. So in his introduction, he related to the theme and described his role very well, and also explained the roles by adding some humor into it. So I like that part. And TM Shivangi also in her report also tried to add some humor into it. Coming to the listener of the TTM Sanchit. So as always, he tried to act it out his role introduction, which I loved. And he tried to speak on the theme as well. He related it to that and encouraged everyone to listen in the meeting. And the questions were also very good, which he asked in the report. Coming to the joke master, TM Ritik, the jokes were really good and the punchlines were also good. The timings were also good. The one thing which I would like to recommend him is I felt that the end of the joke was a bit abrupt. So maybe he could work upon that. Now coming to the overall meeting. So we started the meeting on time and hopefully we can end it on time also. Evaluating the SAA TM Navya. So she started the meeting on time and read the club mission properly, introducing the presiding officer as well. Few recommendations for her would be to show up a bit more energy and enthusiasm while starting the meeting. So I found out the pitch a bit towards the lower end. So maybe sounding a bit more enthusiastic and energetic from next time would add up more grace to her role. Coming to the presiding officer, TM Ritik, I love the way he related the presidential address to his personal story and how he gave a lesson, motivating, inspiring lesson through an anecdote. So I love the way he did that. He introduced the guest and also encouraged them to participate in the table topic session. A few recommendation for him would be to when guest Weber was introducing him, his video was switched off. So maybe he could ask him to switch on his video and then introduce himself. Otherwise, you did it very well, TM Ritik. Kudos to you. Coming to the team mode, TM Rashmi. I would say it has become a cakewalk for you to play this role. You play this very comfortably and with full authority. And the theme of the day was very apt given that we are going to enter the spring season. You also gave some beautiful insights into the theme and also tried to engage the audience as well by asking the questions. A few recommendations for you would be that once you missed upon the audience to write the feedback for TM Bhavanan, so maybe a more focus towards that, and also to focus more on time management. So it was like when you asked the questions about the whose birthday celebrated upon. So given that we are short of time today, you could have skipped that. Otherwise, you were fabulous. And coming to the TM Joy now. So like every time you did innovation to the role by playing out Pushpa while introducing your role. And the topics were really engaging and creative. I'd love to participate in the table topic session if I would have been playing this role. And the transition also was quite smooth between the topics. The recommendations for you are that since the topics were a bit lengthy, you could have shown the PPT so that the speakers could read from there. And the other would be that instead of inviting a newbie in as the first speaker, you could have asked a more experienced Toastmaster like DTM Deepak in the starting instead of the end. With this, I like to conclude my role with a quote. So you will never change your life until you change something you daily. So be more innovating, keep experimenting, and become a better person and a better speaker every time you come in the meeting. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to TM Rashmi.
A thunderous round of applause for General Evaluator Team Sparshita. Thank you very much. Yes, dear Toastmasters, I know all of you are feeling motivated after listening to your evaluation, isn't it? And you might be thinking of regenerating your thoughts and ideas so that you may come back, spring back next time with great energy. Well, save your energy for now. Before I conclude the session, this is the rapid question. Yes, all ears. Shah Rukh Khan romances with Kajol in fields of mustard in a super hit movie. I repeat, Shah Rukh Khan romances with Kajol in the fields of mustard in a super hit movie. Name the song. Unmute and name the song. And hum it.
Tujhe dekha to jana saram.
Who is that?
It's Prem Ritvik.
So hum it, Ritvik. Bingo. Hum it.
तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम.
Yeah. All can visualize Shah Rukh Khan in the mustard field.
Raj
Thank
and
you very
Simran.
much. Thank you. So look how enthusiastic and cheerful everyone has become. I believe all of you are feeling really rejuvenated by now. So this is the impact of our cheerful meeting, Toastmasters meeting. Keep on accepting the changes in life and keep on growing. Keep on regenerating your thoughts and reinventing yourself. Keep on sharing the spirit of Vasant Panchami with your siblings as well as your children also. Because that way only we can preserve our culture. Thank you very much. Thank you. And over to you, the acting president.
Thank you so much for those motivating words. Such a great, relevant festival to be taken into concern and connecting all the dots to give a great session. We had all of them giving some innovative
We have some disturbance in your voice, if you could just check.
So am I clearly audible right now?
No, there's a lot of disturbance in the background. Maybe try.
No, there's a crackling sound in your audio.
I think it's because of the earphones. So I think you should remove.
Okay, so I'm just switching off my camera. Am I audible clearly right now?
It's not your camera, it's your earphones.
Am I clearly audible right now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's how you improvise and learn to improvise in Toastmasters, right? Thank you very much. It was a great session, pretty innovative, given the fact we had a lot of innovation from different role players. Let's now jump into the polls for the role players. We request the tech master to raise the polls. And request everyone to please exercise the democratic right. Please do vote.
I'd like to vote for all three.
Okay. So I guess that is an award in itself to all the role players. It will just be a formality to, give the names. Whatsoever. I hope the polls are done, Tech Master.
There's a fierce competition between all our role players. So I would request everyone to vote so we can break the tie.
Absolutely.
And we have all the votes in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, audience. Let's now move forward towards the poll results. Now, first, let's go forward with the best speaker. Any guesses? Please unmute yourself and give the guesses.
Toastmaster Sadaf.
PM Sadaf.
Okay, I guess you got this guess right. Yeah, yes, it is Toastmaster Sadaf. Huge round of applause for her. Let's now jump into the best evaluator. Who was the best evaluator according to you? Any guesses?
Pragati.
Pragati.
Okay, any more guesses? So let me just reveal it. It's Toastmaster Akshat Goel. Kudos to you. Well, let's now move forward towards the best table topic speaker. Does it really need any guesses, by the way?
No guesses required.
Okay, it is Toastmaster Deepak Menon. Let's now go towards the best auxiliary role player. Any guesses? Yeah, it was the most innovative role player today. It's none other than Toastmaster DTM Girish, Sabari Girish, and Sanchit was also very close to him, I must say. With all that being said, let me now go forward with a group picture. But before that, I didn't get the results of the best role player. Okay, got it. Now, who was the best big player, role player, the big three? Any guesses?
TM Rashmi.
It's a tie, all three.
Yeah, I hope it should be, but okay. Toastmaster Joy takes it over. Okay, congratulations to him. So I would request everyone to open the cameras and have a group free. Okay, has everyone opened the cameras? So Techmaster, we can go for the photo right now.
Yes. Waiting
And
for
I would request all,
turned on.
yeah, any fancy symbols?
Thank you, everyone.
Okay then. So we'd request all the guests to please stay back for a very informative and insightful briefing for how to take forward your communication and leadership journey forward with Toastmasters. With all that being said, every good thing in this whole world has an ending, unfortunately. So this Toastmaster meeting too has. So let's now end this meeting. That's all from my side, the presiding officer. Thank you very much. Thanks for this great contribution to this great evening. Go have a great night. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Well
Bye,
done,
everyone. Good
everybody.
night.
Good job. Good night.
The guests are requested to stay back for 10 more minutes. We can have a quick discussion and then we'll let you have your dinners. Okay, so I think we have all the guests here. Sanchit, can you switch on your camera also? And